All right, guys, we have done it again. We have another green day on our hands, and it looks like we broke that 401 level of resistance that I mentioned yesterday. And it looks to be that this coming Monday is going to be the day, the definitive day that we see the bull rally come back. So what does that mean? So this come Monday, I'm looking at two possible scenarios. I'm looking at if we either continue this bullish momentum into Monday. Possibly the second scenario would be we retest this 401 level of support right here. I think that is needed because we've had two aggressive green days this past week, basically. And I think we will see some level of a retest to 401 in my opinion. Whether that comes Monday or Tuesday, it's going to be, it's going to show that if this bullish momentum can continue. Now, what do I think? I think possibly Monday or Tuesday, we are going to get that retest. Monday, we might come out crazy and try to hit, at least 408. I think this 408 level right here, we do have a gap, a little tiny gap to 408. You can't see it on here, but it's on the 3-minute. But yeah, we do have a tiny gap at 408. I think we possibly can feel that on Monday, and then we're gonna retest 401 possibly Tuesday or Wednesday, and then the anticipation is going to be for the unemployment rate. So if we take a look over at the data event, we have it this coming March 10th, if you can see right here, and the forecast is a 3.5. So if we hit forecast, I believe this rally can continue. Even if we go a little bit below forecast, I think that's going to be positive for the market. If we go a little hot, if we don't hit forecasts and we go possibly lower, that could warn investors that the economy is slowing down because people are getting less jobs. People are going to be spending as much, but that's not the case just yet. Also, another thing I want you guys to pay attention to is the Fed interest rate decision. Now, this is going to be very important this coming next 3 weeks because I think a couple banks have already mentioned that they anticipate a 0.5 increase. I also think this is the case. I think what we saw for January's inflation numbers, that they all came in hot. All four reports, weren't as expected, and I think they're going to drop the 0.5. I think a lot of investors think we're going to have a flat rate of 5% for the entire year. So to get to that target, we just need a 0.25. But if we come out on the Fed rate decision and we get a 0.5, it's going to be disastrous. It's going to mean that, yes, we are going to have a flat rate of 6%. And that's going to, wobble a lot of investors. And that's going to put us in a very precarious place, where we're going to be, lopsided. And I think that's going to lead to the next downturn. But as far as right now, it looks like we are anticipating the March, 10th U.S. unemployment rate and possibly the CPI for March 14th and the PPI for March 15th. So the Fear and Greed Index, we've climbed a bit, 5 points. We're now teetering towards greed, but that's, nothing to worry about. I still think, if you look back at the charts, tell us a story, basically, and I think we can make room for that 417 to 421 gap. At that point, I will be considering a large amount of puts, probably really dated out, like 3 months out, and I'll fill you guys in on what put positions I'll be getting. But as far as now, I'm liking the call side for the indexes. If we look at QQQ, QQQ also did crazy numbers today. And it looks like QQQ is set up for a really bullish Monday, possibly even Tuesday. We'll see about that. The dollar's down a bit. It's just consolidating here. It's looking like it's gonna pick up some strength before possibly making another move up. The Dow Jones is a bit, down today, just consolidation. If you look at the VIX today, the VIX sold off heavily. It sold off 5%. It's the biggest sell-off in 2 days. It's crazy. I didn't expect this coming from VIX, but you know, you gotta be anticipating the worst at times if you want to succeed in this market. This market's very challenging. It's very tricky, and it's very, you can get sticky in situations, and you don't want that. You want to make money on the right side of the trade. So if we look at, we're right at support basically. If we dip any below, we're making new 52-week lows. But I think that'll be the case. Honestly, we might just consolidate or even go down on Monday. I believe Monday we might retest that 401 level, or even Tuesday. We'll see. Because at that point, I think we're gonna be erring on the side of oversold for the VIX, and I think picking up calls, possibly Monday or Tuesday, should be on your radar. If you take a look over at the HSI, China did pretty flat today. Nothing, too worrying. I think, we still have yet to test this line of support right here, back at 19,000, maybe even 18,000. We do have a couple levels here at 18,000, but anything below than that is just liquid. But yeah, I'm just looking at these, Chinese companies. I think it'll be very lucrative if we get another pullback on these indexes for China. I would keep a watch list for, Tencent, Alibaba, GoTo, Tuya. All those stocks you should keep on your watch list. If you take a look over at Lyft was pretty flat. I was expecting a sort of a bounce, but this is not the move that will fill this gap. It's not the type of moves that you want to see if you want to see this be a gap filler. Now, this will follow indexes and I believe consolidation days. So I would keep this on my watch list. We could possibly retouch that 11 mark of resistance and possibly move up to $12 or $13. I think for this, bull cycle, I think we could possibly touch $12 in the next week or two. But yeah, I'd keep this on my watch list. If we take a look, over at the powerhouses, Google, Microsoft, Tesla seems like it's basically filled that gap that I mentioned about yesterday. I did anticipate that we were going to fill this gap, because if we did go green, we went aggressively green today, and that reflected positively for Tesla. For Microsoft, we went green. Google, Apple, Apple seems like it caught the good side of this trend today, of this trend reversal, and we're seeing it make bullish moves. If we just pay attention to these, trend reversals, I think we can make a lot of money. I'm gonna pass it over to Michael.
So with AMC today, we actually had a bounce back, off this, we tested 6. We actually went underneath 6 just a little bit. We bounced back. So it looks like we might see, a little bit of a pull here, a lot of volume in the plus side. So you never know. We might be able to break $7, maybe even $8. So frankly, I think now it looks like we've had a reversal in trend. The line has crossed. If we look at the hourly chart, we're starting to really, I mean, it's been over on the hourly, but it looks like the bears didn't get enough momentum to bring this down. So you might be able to see this stock go up. Might be a little too late to get a call in there, but depending on how the market opens on Monday, you might be able to maybe for the first 5-10 minutes check the direction it's going and ride a wave there. I saw a lot of rumblings in the air about Bed Bath and Beyond getting some love today from the bulls, but it looks like nothing happened. They really just consolidated, and same Nordstrom, nothing really interesting. GameStop had a bit of a pull today as well. Same with Lucid and Wish. Looking over at cryptocurrency, Coinbase surprisingly up, which is super strange. News of Silvergate. If you haven't heard, it's a bank that relies on crypto as a put some of its backing in crypto. Recently had its shares plummet about 90%. So this is why, unfortunately, we didn't catch this news, and you'll see, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and sadly, my child, Ethereum Classic, down for the count. Frankly, I'm thinking we might see a little bit of a more of a sell-off, as news comes through. Keep in mind the government is still cracking down on crypto as a security. So, it's really looking bad in the headlines. If they're really trying to take away credibility of cryptocurrency, they're sure as hell doing a really good job with it. I'm going to pass it back to Chris for his closing thoughts. Thanks, guys.
So I think this is the trend reversal March needs. March, you got to be very, attentive. I think we will fill this 417, 421 gap. And then, come out CPI reports, PPI reports, and Fed rate decision. I think they're going to drop the hammer, and we might possibly go down to new lows. That's my outlook as of, as of today, and I think, I think you should take a look out. Thanks for watching, and drop a comment if you like today's video. See ya.